Maintaining positive cash flow is what keeps a company alive. It's the heartbeat of any business, whether the business is large or small. There's a lot to talk about, and we've covered a lot of ground the last two weeks. Wrapping it up tonight with our final session on this topic, and welcome to everyone. It's so good to have you with us, no doubt about it, for this part 3 end of our session. Tonight we're going to lift our eyes on up and look to the horizon, try to look into the future and see how we can avoid emergencies related to cash flow. We're going to talk about building a forecasting, learning how to forecast better, learning how to plan our growth as our new companies start growing without running out of cash, recognizing the early warning signs if we've got cash problems on the way, and also talk about the importance of creating an emergency cash plan, so to speak. We certainly are glad to be sponsored by Lee Albritton, the director of the Small Business Center at Lenore Community College in Kinston. Lee's a wonderful director and look forward to helping you any way that he can. You can give him a call at 252-208-1225. Set up an appointment, and he'll do all he can with all of his resources to help make life easier for you in business. His office is located over at the new Aerospace and Advanced Manufacturing Center on Highway 58, just outside of Kinston. And he can also have office meetings in downtown Kinston on Queen Street. So he's very accessible to you. Stay in touch with Lee, and he'll help you all that he can. My name is Steve Carver. I am in Dunn, North Carolina. My presentation number 1265 tonight. So we're just rolling right along. Thank you for joining me on my journey. I am not a lawyer or an accountant, just a fellow that's been in business for 66 years and trying to share free advice with you all that I can to make life easier with more profit and less stress. My advice is always get an extra second or third opinion before you make a major decision affecting your business, security, or your family. Lots of study guides related to the night that Lee has mailed out if you are on his list. If not, I'm going to mail them to you tomorrow if I have your email addresses. And I think I've got all of the folks that are on board with us so far email addresses. Lots of information. I've emailed them to you in advance to give you a chance to study a little bit and to think about what we're going to be doing tonight. And the email I send to you tomorrow will be a more comprehensive summary of what we've been doing than I usually do, trying to give you more information in this advanced course. So check it out real closely. I would like for you to take the time, if you would, to spend some time with the course quiz for the whole course with 15 questions. If you go through that, answer them on your own, and then go back on the email I'll send you tomorrow. I have the answer key to it. Check your answers, but going through that process, I am sure that you're going to be able to hold on to a lot of this information for future use and to benefit you in the future. So that 15 course quiz is important, and that is one of the qualifiers for you to graduate into the academy with this course. So make sure you send it back to me. It is required. I think most of you that are with us tonight have attended all 3 classes, so that was a qualifier as well. And I do appreciate it. It's good to have you with us, no doubt. I did some work today on just checking progress. It looks like that several of you have basically completed your homework challenges, either with the new challenges that I set forth to you or with work that you've done in previous recent courses. I give you credit for that too, for that work. So some of you are well on the way to being qualified for advancement in the academy. Shannon and David have sent in their quizzes already. Must have did some extra studying on that 15-question quiz. We'll make sure that's the one that you send back to me. And I appreciate it very much, all of you that are doing that. Also, Janet, I appreciate you sending in information as well today. Let me mention to you, Kara, I do need your complete mailing address. If you would send it to me by email or just type it over in the chat box. You don't need to do that for me to be able to send your certificate. And because you're present tonight, I'm sure that you're going to get one of those completion certificates. So thanks for doing that. And looks like I've got the addresses for everyone else. So that's good. Thank you. Sonia, good to have you back with us. Thank you for all that you do over in Charlotte and completing another course tonight. That'll move you up in the academy. Sherry, you as well. Thank you for your work and good luck with your book. Keep it going. Justin, I'm looking really forward to hearing from you again and getting some more information on your business planning. I appreciate all the work that you're doing on Facebook. You're doing a great job promoting your business, and I hope it's bringing you in some good new clients. Edna, we missed you last week, but glad to have you back with us tonight. Thank you so much. LaToya, back again, so thank you so much for being with us and for sending me the information that you sent in. I just learned, I was thinking that you lived in Greensboro, but it looks like that you are in Kenansville and have your own a lounge there, studio. Minnie James Therapy Lounge. I might come by there and get me a little therapy. That sounds pretty good. So thank you very much for sharing that information with me. Dr. Carolyn, good to have you back with us tonight. Salute you for all your work and thank you for your lifelong career in helping children. Just an amazing career, and we're so proud of you and so honored to have you as a part of this group, and look forward to sharing more time and more information with you. And God bless you and your work as Jacob's Ladder for Successful Learning. I know you're excited about that, and we're excited about it for you. So let us know how we can help you with it. Jennifer, as always, first class work, #1 blue ribbon participant. Thank you for all that you've done. The way you prepared your homework assignments and sent it to me today was just fabulous. I had never seen any better. I can tell that you're a professionalist, and anyone that's planning an event would definitely be wise to hire you to help them, because there's no doubt you're going to be thorough and do it just right. So that's a very good indication, and thank you so much for sharing it. And there's Veronica. Hey, Veronica, big smile, getting your business up and running, staying very busy. Let us know how we can help you. If you have any ideas, anything that any of us can do, let's share that. And I appreciate, especially now that I think we're finishing my 4th course with you, 3rd or 4th anyway, and I really appreciate how you share your information with people in chat and with the other members and help build up other businesses. We all need to do the same for you, and I'll certainly try to do my part in doing that. So everybody say hello to Veronica and help her get this new healthcare business of hers up and running. We all need all the help we can get. Shannon, hot weather is coming. People are going to be needing more generators, more power. So hopefully you're going to be getting all the business that you want, and look forward to hearing from you. And I hope you'll join us in future classes as well. Sarita's a busy lady. We're getting ready to make her more busy with more certificates next week. So thank you, Sarita, for all the work you're doing. And Kia, thank you as well for staying with us so long and so good. And I'm seeing you promoting your business even more these days. Hopefully it's helping you make some profit. There's Dr. Mary Young over in Warren County, helping children, helping folks educated, very spiritual lady, and now definitely an author and video master. Mary, you keep those videos coming, get them posted and share them with us, and then we'll share them with other people as well. So thank you for the great work that you're doing on behalf of trying to help folks. It's good to do it. David, he's going to help you if you're running up through the interstates around Statesville, North Carolina, and you need any type of automotive assistant. David is sitting by the phone, sitting by his computer, waiting to hear from you to come and get you out of a jam. Thank you, David, for your hard work the last 3 courses, and hopefully now you'll start seeing some benefits. I know you're marketing hard, and we're all pulling for you, so good luck to you. Janet, thank you for sending a very comprehensive homework and all the challenges that you've sent in. Did a great job with those. I hope it benefits you as you're growing your business and planning it. And we're looking forward to you relocating in Weldon, North Carolina. So come on down whenever you can. The Academy is all about you. It's not about the small business centers. It's not about me. We are here to serve you, and your success is our goal. Because if you make it, we're going to be happy, and we're going to be here for you. But you need to share your information with other people. You cannot run your business and promote your business just sitting on your hands up in the bleachers. We have to get in the game, and I'm trying to encourage you to do exactly that. So my job is to be assertive and to motivate folks. Your job is just to find the endurance to stay in the game. When you're first getting started, there's going to be some mighty slow days. There's going to be some mighty busy days. And there's going to be some terrific demands to stay in the game and keep the cash flow going. So we're all pulling for you and pulling for each other. Stay in power is going to have a lot to do if you follow this simple, basic, fundamental cornerstone of a new business. You want to have what people want, and you want to have what people need. A diversity of profit centers, a diversity of things that you're offering so that customers can come back to you time after time after time and year after year to keep doing business with you. And if you can mix up things that people want, things that people need, it'll work. It will work if you hang in there with it. I've been sending you those 40 drill skills off now for several years. I hope that you have by now had a chance to spend some time with those and with the videos. If you will, rewrite them in your own words with each video. Just give me another sentence on how you will use this skill to help you in your business, and that will help you hold on to that, and it will become a business skill tool that you can put in your tool belt and use it the rest of your business life. It's simple, it's easy, and it is so darn effective. You just be amazed. Once you own the 40 skills, you'll find yourself almost every day relating to using one of those in a better way to promote your business, and that's going to give you a lot of staying power. And after the night, I'll take a break for a few weeks and come back on board, starting new classes on July the 7th. I certainly hope that you will join us. The new class that starts on July the 7th is an advanced course. That is, it is more than just core topics. It is for those folks that are maybe have already feel good about starting their business and now want to take it to the next level. And this course is about succession, keeping your business alive after you're ready to sell it or retire, and the different ways that you can structure yourself. It's a reminder that we're not guaranteed another moment. I might not be here tomorrow, and you may not be here tomorrow, and your business will be left, and what's going to happen to it. And so how can we as business owners better set up our businesses so that succession can happen? And that's what this course is all about. We'll talk about how to value your business in case you want to buy it, sell it. But more important, if you're thinking about how to place values on the business, that means when you're ready to grow and merge or maybe buy another business to add to yours, you'll be able to understand what the value of that will be. Very, very important, because if you know how businesses are valued, that's going to help you grow your business starting tomorrow in a better way, so it will be worth more money to you and to a potential buyer. And then on July the 13th, a week later, we'll crank in another course on Monday nights. This will be an 8-part course, one that we've repeated through the years, on how to start a new business and a side hustle. Many of you have already attended this course maybe once, but as always, we're always adding new information to each course as we go through, and there's so much being offered. Attending time after time gives you a chance to really build in the things we're teaching into your business, and you're always welcome to attend back. Remember, as you complete courses, that's the way you can advance in your associate status in the Academy. The more courses you complete, the higher your status is. So maintaining positive cash flow mainly is the fundamentals for startups that we started with as we started talking about this course 2 weeks ago. But our objective is simply to help entrepreneurs build a stronger, positive cash flow from day to day. and to do it from the day that you start. So welcome tonight to the final installment in this series. So reviewing a little bit, what is cash flow? What is it? Let's keep that in mind. It's the movement of money in and out of our business. Cash comes in through customer payments, loans, lines of credit, owner investments, and the cash flies out of there in a hurry when we buy inventory, materials, pay rent, utilities, regular operating expenses, payroll, taxes. There's a lot of different ways that our cash finds a way to get out of the business, maybe too many ways, right? So write this down, the importance of upsells, the importance of upsells. Ken, I'll say, we hear about the good, bad, and the ugly. Well, the ugly is having to go out of business, and the good is negative cash flow. I mean, the bad is negative cash flow, but the good is positive cash flow, and nothing I know of can help you maintain positive cash flow rather than focusing on the importance of upsells. If you have upsells continually in your business where you're able to attract a customer and do some business with them, and then get that same customer to do more business with you, that's easy. And that's what you call stacking profits. And it's a good thing to do. And how do you have upsells? It's the variety and diversity of your profit centers. And the main 3 words is you have to say, and by the way, so if you are able to do that with your customers and have these upsells, your cash flow problems are going to be greatly reduced simply by following this lead. So I'm really pushing that because I know how important it is. In week 1, we talked about how important timing is with the cash in and cash out. No matter how much you got coming in, if it don't come in time to pay your bills, there's a problem there. And positive cash flow and profit, we talked about, we got to remember positive cash flow and profit are definitely not the same thing. We'll talk about that more tonight. We lose a lot of cash sometimes in our businesses just by leaks, not paying attention. A leak here, a little dribble there. Sometimes, I had a leaking outside faucet in my house about 5 years ago, and it was just a drip. But my water bill went over $100 that particular month with one little dripping leak. And it's the same thing. If you're dripping pennies and you're dripping $5 and $10 here, at the end of the month, it may have cost you $1,000. So we want to look for those cash flow leaks. And tonight we're going to focus on tracking as we have before too. That's another way to an important factor in cash flow. So these little tools, they're small and routine, but they can make a huge difference in the success of our business. Bottom line, we need to track every single dollar, no doubt about it. And then in part 2, the second week, we talked about how important it is to separate your personal finances from your business finances. If you want clarity and protection with taxes and such as that, protecting your business and your personal investments, you need to have separation with the record keeping and the money. We also spoke about how to plan a budget, how to put together a budget, and so that you'll have a good idea of where the money's coming from and where it's going to go. We introduced AR and AP. Do y'all remember what those are, AR and AP? Go over to the chat board if you don't mind. Those of you that are at the chat board, type in the letter AR and tell me what that stands for, and type in the letters AP and tell me what that stands for. Let me get your fingers working, okay? Get a little exercise here. Put your forks and your spoons down. Let's do a little bit of homework. Anybody helping me here? Let's see what's going on. Well, Carolyn's right in there. How about that, Carolyn? Thank you very much. Yeah, AR and AP. Accounts receivable and accounts payable. Accounts receivable, black ink. Accounts payable, red ink. Money going out. So you've got to keep that in mind. For the rest of your business life, you be aware of what your accounts receivable and your accounts payable status is on every day. It just needs to be an awareness factor that you keep. We need to be paid. When we're providing services and products, our business needs to be set up that our customers pay us on time. And the faster that money comes in means that the better our cash flow situation is. But it has to be managed. A matter of fact, I don't know of any more important management tool to the point that as our businesses grow and we have more customers and we're working as owners, we're working so hard and so much of our time selling and marketing and promoting our business that sometimes we have to bring someone else in. We have to have some help in managing our accounts receivable and accounts payable. Don't put that off too late, because indeed sometimes if you are creating a lot of accounts receivable, people owing you money, and you don't feel like you've got time to go chase them down and collect this or be on the phone and call them 5 or 6 times to get your money, then maybe it's time that you bring in a virtual assistant or a bookkeeper or someone else to help you manage that. Because failing to manage your payments in and out is a good way to open the door to having to go out of business. So be careful with that. And we've talked about it so many times, and we have to continue to talk about it because it's an important topic. We need a cash cushion as soon as we can get it to keep us from getting in a jam, keep us from wanting to have to panic. So we'll talk about that cash cushion again tonight. So let's get on with what we're talking about now. Part 3, closing this up. We're closing up today and lifting our eyes off of the paperwork in front of us, kind of trying to look into the horizon to protect ourselves from financial pitfalls. And to do this, we must think about our ambitions, our financial guardrails, because we're just not chasing growth here. We're trying to engineer sustainable shock-proof growth or stability or sustainability. I use that word a lot, and it's so important that you're able to lay down at night, think about all the things that are going on, the time that you've invested in trying to get your business up and running and finally got it to that point, and now there's just as much thought has to be put in it how to keep it going. We thought that getting it started was going to be the hard part, and then we just coast. Well, let me tell you, after 66 years, they ain't no coasting. It don't work that way. You always got to keep your finger on the scale. You always got to be motivating. Maybe you'll do it in different ways. You'll get better at it, and doesn't take as much stress, but it still the energy still don't have to be there. And the good news is, once after you've been there for enough years to know the ropes and feel good about the security you have, then work becomes fun. Then work actually becomes fun. You look forward to it. Why else would this old 79-year-old curmudgeon be up here talking if it wasn't fun? Because I want to tell you it is. I enjoy the work that I do with you guys, and I'm so thankful that after I sold my company last year, the family that bought it said, "Hey, Steve, how about staying on and doing this, and that?" And that just energized me even more. I'm the best part salesman there's ever been right now, so and customer service person. So look forward to becoming a master, becoming really good at what you're doing, because your succession can absolutely be one of the best days of your life, and you still stay in business and make money too without all the stress. So just a word of inspiration there for you. So tonight we're talking about cash flow and forecasting. We're talking about how to build that forecast and using the forecast to make decisions, planning for growth. Yes, I want you all to grow your businesses, because if it don't grow to become substantial, you're not going to see the fulfillment of your dreams from the income that it's going to bring into you. How to handle cash emergencies when they come, but more importantly, let's do all we can to avoid those cash emergencies, and creating a little bit of cushion for a safety plan, a plan B, in case things get tight. So the first part of the session tonight, we're going to be talking about something we hadn't talked about before. And this is why this is an advanced class, because I probably wouldn't bring this up in a beginner's core topics class. As we're looking at our cash flow, we know that there's a lot of factors involved, but when you're first getting started, the main factors involved is your checkbook balance, right? That's the main thing we worry about with our cash flow, and whether or not we got any room left on our credit cards in case we need to borrow some money to get through a tight spot. Well, you'll move past that pretty quickly as your business grows and as you mature. So I'm here to tell you that we just can't look at our checkbook balance to forecast what's going to happen down the road. There's 3 different ways that we need to weigh in our decisions as we're planning. One is our profit and loss statement that you're used to seeing, and as you get into business and you get running, you'll start having your monthly reports through your bookkeeper with your profit and loss statement, and that's very, very important. That's an important sheet of paper that QuickBooks will hand to you or any other bookkeeping system. That'll tell you how much money you spent on the books and how much money you got to pay out on the books. And then you've got another statement. It's going to be your bank account, of course. But your balance sheet is another part of your financial statement that's showing you where money's going, where it's going, and where it's coming from. So that's an important factor too. And then the last part of this is the cash flow statement. And that's where we're actually looking at the timing of what we got now and what we got coming in and what we got to pay out in the future. So those 3 factors now, forecasting cash flow just became 3 times more involved than it has been before in our other classes. And it has to be because your business is now going to start becoming 3 times more active and creating more types of bills and more sales opportunities. And a sales opportunity equals a cash flow problem. You got to keep that in mind. The wonderful thing, the great dessert of small business entrepreneurship is selling. But a sales opportunity, a new sale, in the back of the room, in the back of the kitchen, there's got to be a big sign on the wall that says sales opportunities equal cash flow problems if you don't take care of it. That's why we're doing this subject. So the three-way test is using our P&L statement and our balance sheet and the cash flow and marrying those together and pulling out the information that we can actually do some serious forecasting. And this is a lot to consider for a company that's just got started, and I know that. So we're giving you this so that in the future, as you move forward, as your businesses grow, you'll be able to refer back to this and hopefully it'll do you some good. Several of you already have an established business, been at it for a long time, and these things can apply right now for you, so we can look at that. Now, when these sheets intersect, when they come together, we're after several important pieces of information to do our forecasting. The profit and loss statement, the balance statement, they're going to give us our net income for a certain period of time. And that net income flows right onto your financial statement as a part of your retained earnings. The profit and loss statement and the cash flow gives you that net income, and that's the starting point of where you are today. It's like, well, I think I'm going to go out and do a trip today. I'm going to go somewhere. So I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to go somewhere. Every time when we get in our car or truck to go somewhere, after we crank up, what's the very first thing that we look at? How much gas we got in the fuel tank, right? Whether it's today, tomorrow, the next week, or whatever, that's always the first thing. Well, as our business is going somewhere, we need to have a daily understanding of how much fuel we've got in the fuel tank or how much cash we've got in the fuel tank, and more importantly, how far that cash is going to carry us down the road, how far that fuel is going to carry us down the road. If you get in the car and you're getting ready to make a 300-mile trip, but you know from experience the amount of gas you've got in your tank won't carry you but 50 miles, then you know you've got a cash flow problem, don't you? Because you're going to have to stop and spend some money to finish the trip out. That's a good comparison right here of why you want to have vision on how far you can go with how much money you've got in your checking account. I wrote checks today, paid some regular insurance bills. It seems like I have to pay too many insurance bills, but at any rate I did. And those insurance bills carried my bank balance from $3,800 down to $1,700 by the time I paid them all off. Well, then here comes a credit card bill that I needed to pay off, and I said, and it was around $1,500, and I said to myself, uh-oh, you know, I don't have to think about this, and I'll go transfer some money over in this checking account. And then, hallelujah, I opened up the mail, and I got an accounts receivable check that came in, put me over $1,000, put me over the top, so I was able to pay my bill and move on for another few days. Staying aware of what's coming in and what's going out can make all the difference in the world as far as your planning, and that's why you need to have in good mind about your accounts receivable. I knew that I had some checks coming in, but I didn't know exactly when, so that's why I kind of waited and opened that mail, because I thought it might be here today. So after you finish your trip, even when you get started, you're going to say to yourself, now when I get there, am I going to be out of gas? Am I going to have to fill up, or is that enough gas to get me back home? Same way with running your business. Having awareness of how much cash you got on hand, when you're going to need to add some more, how far down the road is this balance going to get you? Because if you're looking down the road, it might have a lot to do with whether you buy something today that maybe you really didn't need, or maybe you can put off. That's what you call managing your cash flow. The longer you're in business, the more you're going to get used to this. And I'll tell you right now, my good friends, there will be some surprises. There's always room for a surprise in cash flow. Hence, you need a little cushion to back you up. So building that base, your P&L and your balance sheet, looking at your historical data, thinking ahead about what your money coming in will probably be, knowing what your fixed costs are. What's your fixed costs? That's the things you got to pay. That's your rent and your utilities versus your variable costs like entertainment and travel. Having all that together and a good understanding on your balance sheet is really important. Now, I've got a little footnote on the screen here. There's a whole lot to consider when you're creating cash flow history. And if you're just getting started, I don't want this to seem overwhelming. I'm just making the point, there's a lot here to learn for all of us. And every new day in business, things are changing, and so we're having to relearn these lessons, no doubt. So business owners need right away to understand the profit and loss statement is very important to the bookkeeper, and it's very important to the financial records. It's very important to the accountant. But there's more to consider about your cash flow than just what your monthly profit and loss statement looks like. So let me mention right here. Let me ask Johnson, are you on board with the microphone now? Our resident CPA?
I am now. I was multitasking, but I'm on now.
Were you hearing what I was saying about business owners need to look at more than their profit and loss statement?
Oh yes, I was hearing that. It's like ingrained in me.
Good. So would you have any comments about that or reinforce it?
I think if you give me about 10 seconds, I could think that number one, you're right on line. Number two, you got to look at the gas tank before you leave. Number three, you got to think about coming back home. You're right on there. Number four, don't put off billing. And I think you started off with that, but and then I sell a service, and so in selling services, you have to really define what the scope of service is, or you'll get involved in scope creep, and then somebody will start getting a lot of stuff for free, and you'll be working and not paying attention. When you're selling a pencil, it's one thing. When you're selling a service like I see some of these folks doing, well, to me, one of the most important things they can do is get their elevator speech down about what they're selling to whichever particular customer or client they're in front of at the time.
And then when they want something else, we call it upsells and we charge them for it, right?
That's right, yep.
All right. Thank you for that insight, Johnson. We appreciate you and appreciate you being with us. So keeping in mind about what your current payments are, what the terms you have with your customers, what owes you, your suppliers, what is your agreement with them, and putting a big star and footnote here. Your credit reputation is really important when you're borrowing money, no doubt. Everybody knows that. But I want to tell you from experience and long time experience, your credit reputation is super important as you want to grow your business through the years with your vendors. Maybe you're paying your bank and your monthly payments just like you ought to, but you're a little slow with your vendors, the people that are providing services and products to you. That will bite you in the butt eventually. That will keep them from giving you the best deals or the best opportunities. So it's just as important to pay your bills on time early when you can to get your business stature up because if you have a great relationship with a vendor, they're going to be in a position to, one, give you the best deals they can offer. But number two, they're going to be in a position to refer customers to you because they know you're going to take good care of them and buy stuff from them to do that. The referrals that vendors can send to you are super, super important. It's just like what we're doing here in the academy and the friendships and contacts that we're making every month and every week with each other. The referrals that we can do for each other, send it back and forth as I do every week with you guys. It's important, and it ends up helping you make money and have less stress as we do that.
Steve?
Yes, Johnson.
Can I speak just a minute to what you were talking about, credit?
Yes.
Don't be afraid of credit. You have to build some credit capacity in order for the business to grow. And I've dealt with businesses that one or the other didn't want to go borrow money, couldn't figure out why they couldn't grow. So establishing good credit is important, and don't be afraid to go borrow $5,000 or $10,000.
Good, very good, and thanks for sharing that. I agree. Your business may not be mature enough to appreciate what we're talking about right now, but if you have a large growing business with lots of employees and lots going on, your financials can get to be very, very complicated. There's no doubt. And there is the right time to bring on board the CPA like Johnson to help you, or to bring on board a good system to help you stay on top of your business. The magic happens. The magic happens in business when you have forecasted what's going to happen and you make the arrangements to make it happen on your benefit. As Johnson was just saying, if you see an opportunity coming and you're not ready to fund it with cash you got on hand, then it's time to look for ways that you can borrow the money. And in my business, through the years, I've had to borrow millions of dollars along the way. And if I didn't, I wouldn't have anything to sell. And having something to sell is how I paid that money back, paid the interest on it, made friends, made customers, and made money and made savings. So do what it takes to keep your history up. Now, several of you are just beginning your history, and I know that. So this is information for your futures, and just keep it in mind. It's going to come to you if your business grows. There's no doubt. But what it boils down to you, whether you're a $10,000 business or a $10 million business, if you're selling stuff today on 30-day terms, and that means you're not going to get paid for 30 days, but you got to go buy it to deliver it and pay the freight and the assembly and get it all set up. That means you're out $10,000 until the customer pays you. And if that was wiping out your cash flow, your available cash flow, that's a problem. That's a problem. And it's a real problem, especially when you guys with brand new businesses are growing, spending money on the good intentions, you're going to get it back down the road. Make sure you got a good plan to get it back. That's what I'm encouraging you to do. And your capital expenditures are so important that we talked about in some of the previous webinars. Capital expenditures are those places that you can get some benefit from depreciation from them, get some tax help from them. So the way you spend your money needs to be thought about. But capital expenditures don't show up like other type of expenses on your P&L expenses, but indeed, you still don't owe that money and you still don't have those assets. But don't get confused, because the P&L statement isn't going to address your cash flow issues unless you mix it up with the other factors we've been talking about. One of the ways that will help you as you move into projecting, and Veronica, this may be really targeted in for businesses like yours, because you're doing business, setting up home health contracts with folks and things like that. And it's hard to know what's going to happen next week, next month, and 6 months from now, either with the patient or your employees, with insurance costs, with COVID or whatever else might come along. I mean, it's like looking at the south end of a northbound mule and trying to figure out what's going on in its head. I like to use that because it's impossible. You just can't do it. You look at it all you want to. So the best way a small business person can address this real serious issue is when you're writing up a contract or you're estimating or you're doing your bid, your projections, it's a good idea to set up your best, your expected, and your worst case scenarios. In other words, you're certainly hoping for the best, no doubt about it. Let's knock a home run. But when you're dealing with the future and you're doing a lot of just guesstimating and goodwill, then let me tell you, yes, plan on making that big money and kind of count on getting a good return, maybe not knocking that home run because some expenses can knock you down. But also know that there's a chance that things will go south. The gas prices will shoot up $2 in 1 week, that kind of stuff. So you got to know that the worst case scenario may happen to you and build that into your thinking. So go for the big bucks. Yeah, always price higher. Always try to make all that you can and be competitive. But when you're planning your expenses side of it, build in some guardrails to help protect you in case things just turn upside down. Well, someone might say, well, how in the heck can you do that? How can you do that? Experience will teach you that you look at what your proposal is, you think about these pitfalls that may arise, and you put in contingencies. The word contingent is all about what I'm talking about right now. And it's a good thing for the buyer and the seller, both people on both sides of the contract, to understand that contingencies protect both parties. And so you look at things. An example of that would be someone that's in the mowing contracting business. And Jennifer, I know that your family is involved in this type of work, so I'll mention it. People that's in the mowing business these days, probably 20% of their operating cost is related to fuel cost. And buying gas for your trucks going back and forth, or for your mowing equipment or your tractors. So if you're writing an annual contract with a customer where you're setting down how much it's going to cost them per month or per cut per year to get the work done, it's perfectly a good thing to put a contingency clause in that contract that says this contract is based on fuel prices at $4 a gallon. And as fuel prices go up and down monthly, we will monitor that. And if fuel prices come down, you'll get a discount. You'll get an extra bonus on your invoice. In other words, it'll come down some if fuel prices are lower than $4. But on the other hand, whatever fuel prices may go up, we're going to have to add enough to cover that extra cost of fuel. Now that is just fair. And there's a lot of other things in different businesses, a world of different things in different businesses that may apply to you. Because I'm encouraging you to look to those long-term contracts. Remember, we want those kind of that kind of business 3, profit center type 3, big ticket deals. Well, the big ticket deals are often found in long-term contracts, good monies you can depend on for a long time. So make contingencies. I should have this on the screen here, and I'll fix that for my next presentation. But make contingencies a way that you can give yourself protection for the best, worst, and expected scenarios when your money's coming in. The future is dynamic. It is always changing, so you just got to remember that you build in factors to protect yourself. Now, I wish someone had told me this when I was 60 years ago when I was first getting started, because I didn't do it. And I got burned so many darn times. If someone had told me this, I'd have been a whole lot better off right now. So you're welcome, guys. No extra charge whatsoever for this good advice. Yeah, I hope it's worth $1 million to you, because I know it didn't cost you 1 penny. But use it. Remember it. It's up to you to remember it. And I've got very much confidence in every one of you that's with us tonight. I'm so proud of all of you. You're growing your businesses and you're working hard. And old Papa Steve-O here is proud of you. And you should be proud of yourself and keep it up. But listen, I'm not sitting here talking at 6:54 on a Tuesday night just to hear myself talk. And they pay me well, but not nearly well enough. My gratification is seeing you guys take this advice, put it to work, and improve your businesses. That's what we're all about, and to help each other. Now, there's a paradox. There's a paradox in entrepreneurship that is just crazy. But this has bit me in the butt several times, and I can just tell you that you can grow your business out of business. Isn't that crazy? You can grow your business right straight out the door to going out of business. And how does that happen? Well, look at this chart if you can see it. It is pretty dynamic, pretty exciting. Starting over here on the left-hand side, you can see what the cash flow looks like in the red line. And you can see what the sales, the orders that you're taking look like in the green line. And so as you do sales, this is part of your revenue that's coming in, as part of your accounts receivable. You're planning on this money coming in, right? But when you look on that red line, look at that money going out as you're trying to develop this business and get going on them. And you can find yourself out of money at a time that your business has never been better. Some of the biggest contracts and biggest deals I've ever gotten almost put me out of business. I am so thankful that my dad had started out with a great credit reputation, and I was able to, after he passed away, I was able to take advantage of that with creditors. They let me keep on doing business as he had, and I so appreciated it, because we went from being in debt maybe $100,000 to being in debt for many millions of dollars in just a few years. But our sales was going up, and it took about 10 years to get everybody paid back, but we did it. We paid their interest. They were just as happy as they could be and asking for more business. But I was able to do it because we had that reserve. And just as Johnson was saying, put yourself in a position that you can have some credit. And if you're not, you need to start out little, but get started now with a bank, credit institutions, doing a little borrowing. The key to getting more money is to have a good credit history. Without history, can't move forward. So keep that in mind. I want your businesses to grow, and really fast, but not to the point we grow you out of business. So you see what I'm saying? This isn't the Chamber of Commerce talk, is it? This isn't grow, sell, sell, sell. This is do all this, but keep in mind there's some problems that you need to be aware of. And that's what this course is all about. That's why Lee wanted us to do this course. He said to me, well, give me a comprehensive course for where people can get a better understanding. Just because you're doing business, that don't mean you're bringing in enough money to support it. So I think we're achieving that here, or at least I hope so. The paradox of growth. Don't grow yourself out of business. Say that to yourself. I don't want to grow myself out of business. You want to grow at a steady rate and have it backed up with a good financial foundation. There's no doubt about it. More bankruptcies are caused well, I won't say more, but a lot of bankruptcies are caused because people did not do exactly what Johnson was saying, build a good credit reputation and have some available money. So when an opportunity comes along and you take advantage of it, it doesn't put you out of business. Because if you use up all the money you got in your savings account, and you use up your children's education savings you've got, and you use up your cash flow money to take advantage of a good short-term deal, in 30 days you may be broke and gone. So just know that. Am I saying this to scare you? Well, kind of a little. But if you get it, it won't happen. If you know it's around the corner and you take this advice seriously, it's not going to happen to you. Now, kind of in the upper scale sophisticated range, sustainable growth rate is something that you will look at as your business really has an opportunity to go forward. And as you start growing it, if you want to have employees, you want to have larger stock, you want to hire salesmen, you want to really bring on a lot of customers, this sustainable growth rate is going to help you avoid those pitfalls that we've been talking about. So how can I do that? First of all, you want to see where your options are. You want to ask, how can you request deposits? How can you get customers to pay you more and faster to do that? When you're working with your vendors, how can you negotiate longer term payments? And if you explain to a vendor what you've got going on, and if your business grows, they're going to get the advantage of that business, then they will indeed be very interested in helping you buy their products and paying them at a rate that you can pay them back, and both of you be winners. A lot of people use that term win-win situations or negotiating partners. That's where this comes in. It's when businesses come together, the buyer and the seller, the retailer and the vendor, the wholesaler, figure out a way to help each other move along. It's that academy statement, mutual helpfulness. And in finance, it's a big deal. But you know what that's built on mainly? It's built on trust. And it's built on an understanding. AI is here, and it's a big deal. The AI train has left the station, as already said. We need to be on it. But the AI train is not taken away in any way, shape, form, or fashion from the importance of integrity, truthfulness, and doing what you say, no lies, tell the truth, and be a person that when you shake hands with someone, they feel like, hey, I've got a relationship here that can last a long, long time. Don't be afraid of doing that. Whether you're talking with your accountant, whether you're talking with your insurance agent, whether you're talking with your vendor, search teams that's helping you find employees, be honest, be frank, be transparent. Don't give away any important secrets. I'm not saying that. But be that human being that people are feeling like this is a good relationship we've got started. Substantial growth is going to come by your understanding and fellowship and understanding with the people that's providing what you need. Because we're all going to need something. Every day, every one of us in business needs something from someone else. And so it's a human being type thing coming back and forth. Don't lose sight of how important that is. I've been so impressed with you guys as individuals and sharing with me and sharing with each other online over in the chat board. And that's what I want you to do. That's why we do it, so that you feel comfortable saying these things, and you're talking to people that's going to listen and not judge you, because they know that you're here for mutual helpfulness. It's so wonderful to have Johnson visit our class tonight as really a long-term experience, great reputation, CPA, and financial advisor for people. We're honored to have Johnson with us in a mutual helpfulness spirit, and he's even encouraging his associates to join us in the future. That's good. That's what we want this academy to be for all of us, and certainly do appreciate it. Yes, sir, Johnson. And I mean that very sincerely, no doubt. So let's talk about funding your expansion safely. Your SGR is really important. So reinforcing what we just said, never use your short-term debt like credit cards, advancements, things like that, to fund long-term investments. If you run up your credit card balances to fund something that's going to last for many, many months or years, and you're planning on funding it with a high interest, high monthly payment credit card situation, no, that's not right. Now, I've told you in many classes and sessions, I want you to have those credit cards. I want you to have them available to you for emergencies, but not to use a credit card financer for long-term debt. It will put you out of business. When you have something going on long-term, number one, it ought to be something you're borrowing money on that you have done a budget on and a plan to see that you're going to make money with this long-term debt. That's why you go in business. In debt is to make money with that money. And sometimes when you have an opportunity to get some really low interest loans, like sometimes the SBA loan might be down 1 or 2%, maybe even some 4% money, and you've got some things coming up, some available things, go for it. Get that loan, get that credit, and then put it to work. Because at the least, you might, if you're borrowing it at 1 or 2%, there's a good chance you can put it in the bank at 4 or 5% long term and make money on your loan. Now, most accountants and tax advisors say that's not a smart thing to do, but hey, we're in business and we don't have any money. You do what you have to do to put yourself in a position to make money. And if you give me $200,000 at as low as 4% interest, I'll figure out how to invest it and make money with it. I'll do that. I remember in the Bible, and I'm not speaking, I don't remember much out of the Bible, but I do remember that it was important for the father that gave his 3 or 4 sons a certain amount of money and said, go out and invest it and see what you can do with it. You know, he didn't expect them to sit on it. Johnson, what you waving that finger for, my friend? Got to turn your mic on.
There you go. Okay. I want to tell you just a real story that goes right to what you're talking about. This husband and wife team built a business from ground zero. I helped them when they were nothing. They have a multi-million-dollar business now. He is selling, and she is managing the books. He came into the office one day, and he happens to see the bank account, the company bank account. It's got $450,000 in it. And he's like, what is that all about? And she's just like to hoard the money and see the balance grow and grow and grow. Well, the next day, he had $300,000 of that in a CD.
Good example. You need to be savvy with that kind of stuff and look it over. She gets lots of pats on the back for making it happen and set that cushion aside. And there's different ways to hold on to that cushion. And if they want to loan some of that money out, we might have some people on board that might want to borrow it from them, no doubt about it. So we'll go from there. Emergency planning and risk mitigation. What does mitigation mean? That means reducing the damage if you get hit by the truck. So what does that buffer need to be? Most people will say, most big business professionals in college classes will tell you a healthy business line is to have 3 to 6 months of operating expenses in the bank as a safety. Holy moly, if I'd ever had that much money coming along for 60 years, I just can't imagine. I'd have slept a lot better at night, maybe, but the chances are I'd have spent it somewhere I shouldn't have. So 3 to 6 months is by the book, but old Steve O's going to tell you, just put as much as you can away. If you can manage in your first 3 years of business to put together 1 month's operating expenses in a safety account that you can sit there and grow like Johnson was just talking about, go for it. I don't want to try to set the goal so high here that people say, well, there's just no way I can get there. But what can you do you keep a good eye on it. And here's what we all can do: is put in your chart of accounts, in your bookkeeping account, put a chart of account number there. You name it Steve though if you want to. Savings account or rainy day account. Plan to put some money aside every month. Plan to put some money aside, and I suggest you go ahead and whatever day of the month that you know that you'll probably be getting in some accounts receivable, let that be the day that you say on the 10th of the month, I'm gonna put $150 in my saving account, or I'm gonna put $500. I don't know what your cash flow is. If it's $5, you put that number in your chart of accounts, so that it's looking at you every month, and you're watching it grow. And as you watch it grow from $100 to $200 to $300 or $1,000 on up, pat yourself on the back. You're saying, I've got a plan, I'm sticking to it. And that's a responsible thing for you to do. Because if you don't have that chart of accounts number, that means you haven't really become serious about it yet. You understand? Say, yeah, I don't do this. I don't start up a savings account. Yeah, I need some more life insurance. I don't get some more of that. Or I need to paint the porch. I need to do that. All that's just talk. But when you set up an account number in your chart of accounts in your bookkeeping system, and you or your bookkeeper says, on the 10th of each month, I'm going to put $150 in this account and watch it grow. I'm not going to touch it unless I have a dire emergency. That's what I want you to do. I'm not expecting you to have 3 to 6 months of operating money saved up right now. Hardly any of us can do that where we are. But we can start that savings account. That's how I started mine. And I started mine, just to share with you, I started mine with whole life insurance policies. How about that? With my kids are 50 now, and I started when they were just born. I got some whole life insurance policies, some pretty sizable numbers, and I started making those monthly premium payments really low, and the cash value back then, some interest was 16% in those years, but those whole life policies ended up being worth a whole lot of money, Now my company owned those policies, but I owned the company, so you do what you can do. And it was a good way for me to start saving, plus give my children some security. Later on, I changed that plan to different things. I actually set up some credit lines and savings accounts and CDs for company money. But there's a lot of different ways for you to approach this. And whole life insurance policies cost very little. You can pay for those with company money as long as the company is the beneficiary, and you own the company, so you own the policy. So something to think about, just some advice. Before you do anything like this, we're just chit-chatting right now. Talk to your insurance person, talk to your CPA. There's lots of different ways that you can do this. But the bottom line I want you to remember is go to your chart of accounts in your bookkeeping system, set up a rainy day fund, and put some money in it each month. Get started, and you'll be doing the right thing. What are the warning lights that trouble ahead? How can you get that red flag flapping up to get your attention? If your accounts receivable start getting older, if people aren't paying you like they're supposed to, and you're playing banker for people, that's a red flag. If your amount of cash on hand keeps dropping day after day after day, then you got trouble down the road. And you don't want to wait till it hits zero before you realize you're in trouble. You watch what your trends are. If you have a bookkeeper, if you have someone that's helping you with your finances, you need to charge them and have the conversation about watching the trends. You need to encourage them to come to our classes that we've talked about in our funding classes to watch out for those things. And gross margin compression. What would that mean? That means that you're doing business and things are moving along pretty good, but you're noticing that the competition is getting so tight that you're still closing deals, but you're having to close deals now for a lot less projected profit than you have before. In other words, that scenario that you're projecting this skill's going to get out of it has moved over here from looking pretty good to looking mighty thin. And if that's happening in a trend, that means something needs to change, because way down the road, if you get these deals, you're not going to have the cash flow you need to overcome some rainy days. So the savvy business owner will be looking at these things and just have an awareness of them. Make sense to you? If it makes sense to you, say amen over in the chat board, or something like that. I know this might be getting kind of boring, but and I don't want it to. So, okay, amen. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate that. Sometimes I think maybe I'm just talking to myself, and I appreciate it. But Veronica gave me a smile every now and then, and it helps us keep going. Gross margin compression. What a set of words. I've never used that before in classes until tonight. That occurs when the direct costs rise faster than the sales prices do. Your cost is going up, but you can't sell it for any more than you used to. That happens when the competitors really put pressure on you to lower your prices, and you keep doing business even though your costs remain the same. That's just a really fancy way of saying, damn, things are getting tight. It's nicer to say gross margin compression. So remember that. Don't let that get said. There, Johnson, what you got, man?
Well, I see gross margin compression. I like the term, but you would not advocate to succumb to that market pressure and be getting negative gross profit selling for less than you're paying for it, would you?
If you had no choice, if you had bills to pay and employees that had to be paid, and that was the only food on the table, we do what we have to do. But we sure need to take action to improve the situation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's the beauty of being the business owner and facing the music compared to being the CPA or the teacher and offering advice.
Yeah. When I'm doing books for people or tax returns and I see negative gross profit, which is sales of 100 and cost of sales of 120 is negative 20, sometimes the owner is just not paying attention, doesn't even realize that.
That's why they need you and they need me to help enlighten them about things, because these things can creep up on you.
Yeah.
Term contract, buying and selling labor or products, and before you know it, because a good example, like tariffs come along, and you didn't have a contingency to cover that, then you lose your butt before you know it. And doing everything right, something can come out of left field and just jam you. I think it may be one of the most important things, hopefully I've shared with y'all tonight, and Johnson, maybe you can share with your clients, is remember that word contingency when you're doing business for the future. It can really give you a safety rail there, a safeguard. Okay.
One of the biggest places that I see gross profit compression is in the trucking industry, where all of a sudden diesel fuel went up and they're locked into their contract hauling prices, and it's taking these little 1- and 2-man truckers out, right regular, because they just weren't prepared with a contingency plan. Like you said, this covers fuel at X price per gallon.
Like I've got 3 or 4 close friends that are in the trucking business. One of them's in Sampson County that owns 12 large dump trucks. 2 weeks ago, he parked them. A year ago, they were very, very profitable. 2 weeks ago, he had to park them. And I said, well, what's going to happen? He says, I've got to write some new contracts with some fuel clause protection in them, with some contingencies. So this is real stuff, and it's happening today. No doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
So another red flag is if customers are usually paying you every 30 days and now they're kind of stretching it out to 45 days, look here, there's something bad smelling in this kitchen. There's something happening here, and you just don't let it happen for a month and not say anything about it. And these days, if this is an important customer to you and they're taking 45 days to pay you when they usually pay you on the clock in 30, don't say, oh, well. No, you get on the phone, you call them up, you talk to them. You let them know how important their business and their payments are to you, and you find out what's going on. Because this customer, if it's big money, can put you out of business. Maybe it's 45 days this month, maybe it's 60 days next month, and then 90 days later, you're broke because you've been paying all these services that they've received you and hadn't sent you any money. Big, big deal. A lot of customers, like if you're in the restaurant, vendors that are providing money to restaurants, you're talking about some big bucks that are changing all the time with food costs. These vendors get paid when the truck delivers the product. Big restaurants have a truck back up to the door, and before that truck backs up, someone from the office went out there and handed them a cash or a check for whatever they're getting ready to unload. Business trends have changed, and if you're in the industries that have been operating on credit for years and years and years, there's a good chance that it's time for that to be COD, cash on delivery, and indeed that may be where you need to carry your situation as well. Playing like you're a banker. I'm the big dick from Chicago. Okay, I got plenty of money. I can do whatever I want to do. And sure, you don't have to pay me because I got plenty of money. Bull, bull, bull. You get paid. They got credit cards. They got credit lines. You look after your business and get your money. Give a good deal. Make it fair. Make it their instant. Give them an incentive. Give them a 1% 10-day deal or 1% cash on the barrelhead. Stay on top of your business and be bullish about it. Be bullish about it, male or female. So what do we do in a crunch? What are the things in a crunch? And this is one of your questions in one of your 15 quiz questions. Don't panic. Audit and freeze your non-essential expenses. Just stop. If you don't have to have it, don't buy it. Offer some little discounts to get people to pay you faster. And communicate early with those vendors where you think you're going to need a little help to pay them. Vendors that you tell them that you're in a cash flow crunch, your customers aren't sending money like they're supposed to, and if they can help you and give you a little extra time, you really appreciate it. And if they can't, then you just reduce your orders to them. But if you want to keep maintaining the flow of business, and they want to keep doing that, and if they trust you, you got a good relationship with them, that's the right thing to do. The telephone call that needs to be made is not the vendor having to call you to find out what's wrong. The telephone call that needs to be made is you calling the vendor in advance and saying, I'm seeing some trends here, and I'm managing my cash flow. And are you in a position to give me any flexibility here for a bit longer terms or partial payments, two or three payments a month instead of just one up front? And if so, or is that going to cost me some late charges? And you calling in advance, there's a good chance it won't cost you any late charges. Because vendors, what is the main prize for a vendor? The total sales they have each month? Well, that's a big time deal for their salesmen, no doubt. But the owners and the credit managers of those companies, what's the big prize for them? Is keeping a good, steady family of people that are buying from them, that family of their customers. And if you're talking with these people, they will understand that. And if you find some that don't give you stone walls or hateful or saying it's a ridiculous thing for you to ask that, then you be very courteous, thank them for their time, and then you start shopping for someone else. Yeah, because there are plenty of vendors out there who will live by the same things that we talk about here. You treat people nice, you help them stay in business. It's a mutual helpfulness world we live in, that the people are playing it right are the ones that are going to last and last and last. All right. 3 weeks into this, what are the steps we need to take? We've covered a lot of ground for the last 3 weeks, and I appreciate you hanging in there with me. Your homework challenge at your own pace now is I want you to put together an idea of a three-way way to forecast your cash. Just Go back and look at your handouts. I will send you detailed handouts tomorrow that you can use what we've talked about tonight that was on the screens. I want you to be doing more than just looking at your bank account. Maybe you don't even have your profit and loss statement set up yet. That would be your next step to do, get your bookkeeping system to do that. But start planning how the cash flow looks for you long term. When you know how it looks, then you're able to set goals, your sales goals. That gets right back to where we're talking about doing that budget, doing that business plan, doing that marketing plan. All this ties together in the circle. It can get complicated. I didn't say it was going to be easy, but if you're growing your business, it's not an easy thing to do. So be positive, have a plan. So what are the takeaways for tonight? Let's look at them together. Remembering that just because you're making profit doesn't mean that your cash flow is good. Remember the three-way forecasting plan. Know that growing is an excellent way to drain your cash. And to have an opportunity to grow is important. I want you to find those, but don't let it put you out of business because you didn't make plans for the cash it's going to take. And do not do long-term growth with credit card financing. Put your buffers there. Get started with a reserve plan. Get you a line item in your chart of accounts in your bookkeeping system, and each month start putting some money in it and start growing this plan. Let that be something you're not going to do. And then rely on all this information that you've got, depending on the size of your business and what's going on. Start relying on it so that you are enhancing the awareness of your growth. All right, everybody with me? So thank you for paying attention. Now we're going to have a little quiz. How about that? Let's talk about these things, see how much of it y'all comprehend. What I want you to do, we're going to look at each question. I'd like for you to go to your chat button and type in A, B, C, or D on what you think the best answer would be. I don't move through these. I'm not going to wait for people to type, but I want you to be active in here just like we're sitting in a classroom together with a cup of coffee, a glass of tea, or a glass of wine, working through this and putting ourselves in the frame of mind. I've really paid attention tonight. I want to hang on to this. Then we're going to have a chance to look at the most important points, and I will come up with what I think is the best answer. Which financial statement shows a business's revenue and expenses over a specific period, but it does not track the actual timing of bank deposits and withdrawals? What would the answer to that be? Balance sheet, cash flow statement, profit and loss statement, statement of retained earnings. Okay, thank you all. We've got a lot of answers. Looks like most of you think the answer is C. So let's see here. Hey. C it is. Congratulations. Profit and loss statement tells you about earnings and expenses, but it don't tell you anything about timing. That was the main point of that question tonight. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. You have done really well on question number one. Number two, what makes a three-way forecast uniquely powerful compared to a standalone cash budget? It tracks employees' hours along with deliverables. It's dynamically linked to profit, loss, balance sheet, and cash flow. Automatically calculates marketing return on investment. It completely replaces the need for an external tax accountant. What makes the three-way forecast uniquely powerful? Answer is, got some B's coming out. How about that? See what we think. Hey. Yes, indeed. It is B. It dynamically links to profit and loss, balance sheet, and cash flow statement. We are learning stuff, class. We are learning stuff. Way to go. Number three, if a company records a sale on a net 30-day terms, how does this immediately impact a three-way forecast? Cash increases immediately on the cash flow statement. Revenues increase on the P&L account statements. Retained earnings decrease on the balance sheet. Increase expenses on the P&L to offset the future assets. What is the answer to three? Johnson, I don't see your answers up here. We're interested in seeing what the pro, how they're going to answer. How about chiming in here with us? Tell us what's happening. Get those fingers busy. All right, looks like the ladies are saying B, and they're right. Way to go. Revenue increases on the P&L accounts, and receivable increases on the balance sheet. Very good. Thank you so much. Number 4, why is rapid growth considered a high-risk phase for a business's cash flow? Tax rates double. New customers always demand net 180-day payments. Growth requires immediate upfront cash outlays. Growing businesses are legally barred from using lines of credit. All right, what's the answer to this one? Man, y'all are doing great. Holy moly, look at that. All right. Looks like y'all think the answer is C, and the answer is, yeah, C. Way to go. All right, I'm pulling for you. Way to go. We're at 100% here. C, growth requires immediate upfront cash, as we've talked about tonight. We all need an answer to that one. Number 5, that sustainable growth rate. What is that? What is the sustainable growth rate? The maximum speed a business can grow in its sales using only internally cash without taking new debt, the rate at which carbon emissions are reduced, a speed in which a business can lay off staff, and a historical average growth rate for the business. What do you think on that one? Well, Sherry came in number 1 with A. Carolyn's in there agreeing with her. Janet, we've got a lot of A's here. Chester says A. I don't know about that one, guys. I don't know about that one. Let's see. Hey, the answer is A. Y'all batting 100%. Way to go. The maximum speed a business can grow in its sales using internally generated cash without taking on debt. What's the takeaway? If we're going to grow our business, be prepared to bring in some more money. Just don't think that I can fund growth with my cash flow. This is really important when you're talking about adding on a side hustle or growing a little something extra into your business. Maybe you've got good cash flow, things are going well. You think, well, man, I'm doing really good. I've got enough cash flow coming in that I can funnel some of that towards a new side flow business or side hustle business. And I want you to do that. I want you to look for the side hustles that you can start growing your business with, because each time you do that, you're adding a profit center. Okay, and that profit center may end up being a standalone business one day, so it's a good thing to do it. But the risk is you get involved with this thing and it's getting good to you, you get to feeling good, and you start pouring in more of your cash flow into it, and next month you don't have enough money to pay your bills. So as you're thinking side hustle and new investments, don't plan to do those investments with your credit cards. Go ahead right now and do as Johnson mentioned, get you a credit line set up, get you some reserve cash money. Even if you're borrowing money, if you can get some special low interest loans, and some of those are out there, just so that you've got some money to operate with. You can't do that. Johnson, you got a remark?
Well, I would have lost credit on that one because I would have said none of the above.
All right. Well, the truth will set you free. We still love you. It's okay. All right. If a business needs to fund long-term growth assets, such as buying a new production warehouse, which financial strategy is considered safest? Financing the entire purchase with high-interest corporate credit cards. We just talked about that, didn't we? Relying entirely on daily merchant cash advances. Aligning long-term asset expansion with long-term financing options. Halting all collections from existing customers to focus on build-out. What do you think? That's an easy answer to figure out there, right? We just told you the answer. Putting it in there. Looks like the ladies are coming up with number C. Let's see how that works out. All right. Yes, indeed. That's perfect. We get it. You're good listeners. I appreciate it. You get a bonus $5,000 for that correct answer. Yes, indeed. Way to go. What is the recommended baseline target for a healthy business cash buffer? Well, we talked about this. So whatever answer you pick, it will be up to you, but 1 or 2 weeks gross revenue, 3 to 6 months fixed operating expenses, 12 months projected cost, and $5,000 regardless of the size of your business. Well, here I want you to answer what the textbook answer is. So I can say, I told you so. But remember, whatever answer you put down, what I told you was, I don't care what you start with. I just want you to start. I just want you to start slow. What would you put in the answer down here? It looks like that the peanut gallery is saying B. Way to go, peanut gallery. Let's see how that works out. Yes, indeed, you're writing book. That's what the textbook says. But what did old Steve-O say? What's the important word? The one important word about your building a reserve account. Type it in on chat. What word would you think I want you to say? Forecast. Start. Start, start, start. If you all will type in the word start and make a commitment to yourself that you're going to start a business savings account and put it right into your bookkeeping system, well, on your chart of accounts, then that is the right thing to do. Get started. All right. Number 7, what is the recommended baseline target? Oh, we just talked about that. Well, I must have went in the wrong direction here. Here we go. Which of the following is considered a leading indicator that will warn you about a problem coming with cash flow 60 or 90 days in advance? Increasing the number of days it takes customers to pay their invoice. A final annual tax return from the CPA. General increase of positive revenues on Google Maps. Last month's finalized utility bill. Well, most of these answers are ridiculous, but there is one that's right on. So what would you choose for the one that's right on? All right, the home team here, including Dr. Mary, is indeed, and including Dr. Carolyn, so we've got our PhD's approval on this. It is A. Let's see if they're right or not. Yes, indeed. Way to go, PhDs and GEDs. We're all in the same boat here, so that's a good thing. All right. Yes, if it's taking your customers longer to pay you than it used to, there's a problem somewhere. There's a skunk out there. You need to take care of it. What is the most constructive, immediate action you can do during a current cash flow emergency? What can you do? Hide the financial realities. Spend heavily and do a lot of gambling. Audit and freeze non-essential spending, or stop checking the company's bank account so you don't see the problem coming. What do you think? All right, the team here, the home team, the smart people, the really smart people have said C. And that's all right. Way to go. It's C. We're clocking right along. I'm telling you, this home team has got the smarts, and I'm proud of you. When performing scenario testing within a 3-day forecast, which 3 outlook should a business always model? Domestic, international, and e-commerce cases, best case, expected case, and worst case scenarios, past year, current year, and 10-year forecast, audited, unaudited tax returns. And we talked about this, remember? Talked with Veronica about it when you're doing a long-term contract. How do you project? How do you cover your bases? Well, most folks are saying B. Let's see if that's right. B is right. Yeah, I'm feeling good about this thing. I don't have to celebrate after tonight if y'all keep on. How about that? This is the true story here. This little piece of advice, as your business grows and you're planning how you're going forward, always try to do the very best you can do and set those margins as high as you can. If you get the deal, great. But even if you get the deal and what you're feeling like is a high profit run, but it's a long-term deal, just know that things may not work out quite so good, or things may just go south, not work out at all. So build those safety reserves into your planning. And as that money comes in, as you start getting payments on this, what you thought was going to be a really profitable deal, because you built into your estimates when you were doing your estimating, doing your deal, you built into that setting aside some reserve money. You see how this plan's coming together now? Because as these payments come in, you automatically, without any question, you're going to take some of that payment and slide it right over into your rainy day account. That's how you protect yourself in the long term. There it is. I think some of you made 100 on it, no doubt about it. And if you do that well on your 15 questions quiz, you will do real well. So enjoy a little time off if you want to take some time off. And in a few weeks on July the 7th, 3 days after July 4th, on Tuesday, we're going to start 5 classes to help you get in the mind of how to move on with your life and your business, even when you're ready to sell it. How about that? It's also going to give you the information on how to move on with your business, even if you want to expand it and buy some other businesses. It's going to give you an idea of how to value the cost of your business, the worth of your business, so you'll have an idea of what it's worth when you're looking at who I might want to leave this to, or how much can I sell it for? Or if they're going to take on a partner, what should they ante up? It's going to give you the general ideas about how to do this. How am I qualified to teach this class? Well, I've done this 6 times. 6 times. All of them have worked out pretty good, and I've helped probably 12 other people do that. And I'm continuously, monthly, helping people value their business or giving them ideas on maybe what that next move ought to be. So this is a good, valuable course for the long term. Johnson, go ahead.
To the point that you just made about how you're qualified to do this and what are you doing, I want to tell you a story. When I graduated from UNC Chapel Hill School of Business and went to work for a fairly large CPA firm in Greensboro, after about 3 weeks, I'd been and asked the partner that hired me, he was a Carolina guy also, so many questions. He looked at me one day and he said, "What did they teach you at Carolina?" Well, the way you are presenting this is so valuable because it is at the bootstraps level where everybody should be able to understand it and take something away from it that will be of value to them. And I just applaud you for how you put all this stuff together, and then how you share it with the people that are willing to invest the time in their future. And I congratulate you, and I'm glad I found you.
Well, thank you, Johnson. You know what I found the first time I started to buy a business, and I hired the services of a broker. I thought I needed to go professional. And they bought in these darn formulas that just didn't make sense to anybody but them. And it was just crazy that I didn't have that college education to know what it meant. And the numbers looked weird, and they really didn't apply to my life. So what I don't teach y'all is how to use some real hands-on figures to build your business and have a good personal understanding of what the real value of it is. And also to understand where they're coming from, because they're going to charge you, if you hire professional brokers, they're going to end up with about 20% of your life savings for work that if you know what's going on, you'll be able to keep a lot of that yourself. So there's great value here with understanding. So thank you, Johnson. I appreciate it, and you're right on target. That's why I'm doing it. On July the 13th, a week later, we'll start 8 courses, the how to start a new business, our regular course subjects, and it will all tie together. So we'll be doing two webinars for 5 weeks, and then we'll kick in the rest of this the other 3 weeks. So in July and August, we're going to be quite busy. I hope that y'all will join us, and let me be your summer friend when you're not too busy outside, and we'll work at it. As you complete these courses, you can again start elevating yourself in the academy, and you can increase your status as an associate, and you can take these fabulous certificates that Sarita makes for us. And Sarita, I see you're with us. Thank you very much. We appreciate it, because we all can take these certificates with $5 and go get a great cup of coffee somewhere. No doubt about it. So indeed, we do take a lot of pride in them, though, personal pride, and Uh, so happy that y'all are moving forward. Sarita, I will mention on that note, and we can all give her a big hand. 15. She is a Master 15 associate. She is the most senior master in the academy, which means she's completed about 18 courses. And that is one smart woman. I'm telling you, she knows everything. She don't forget anything. So don't hesitate to give her some business. She's here to serve. Thank you, Sarita. We appreciate you. So let's wrap this thing up.
Thank you, Steve.
All right. I want to leave you with one final thought. I've been in business 66 years, and there is one thing I know for certain, and that is building a business is so much more than turning a profit. You're creating opportunities, solving real problems, and actively shaping the future. There's a greatness in you, and your vision deserves to live. Your vision deserves to live. Let your passion be your guide. Let your determination be your fuel. And let's all work together to bring that vision to life. Take good care of yourself. Stay healthy and stay in touch. And I love you. Don't forget that. I do love you so much. Let your light shine. May God bless you and keep you and your family and your business. I'm praying for each and every one of you. I want y'all to pray for me. I want you to pray for my sidekick Otis, my English bulldog who passed away a week ago. I'm sure if there's a dog heaven, he's there, and I sure do miss him. Y'all take care. How about some comments?
I thank you for everything you do, Steve, and thank you for the business and promote me. I appreciate you.
Lauren, thank you.
Yeah, I have one rebuttal on your comment that you can take your certificate and $5 for a cup of coffee. You're seriously undervaluing what you're doing. These certificates are their intangible benefit and value here, in my opinion, is probably immeasurable only at the end, is probably measurable only at the end of each of our journeys.
I appreciate it. I thought you were going to say, Steve, that won't work at Starbucks, and you're probably right. Okay. Any other comments? For me, it's been a great 3 weeks because I've been crossing new ground. I put this new program together. I'm sure that some of you noticed it was a total different format, the way I presented it. Appreciate your comments on whether you like the new way or the old way better.
Thank you very much for everything. So thank you for everybody that has contributed to the platform, and it's just like you said.
Thank you, Chancellor. Your audio is really weak, but we could hear a little bit of what you were saying. But thank you so much, and we appreciate your service to the United States and to the U.S. Army. Thank you so much.
I just want to say thank you, Steve. I was over here laughing when you got so excited when we got the answers right. I was like, oh, look at Steve getting excited. You was making me excited. I just want to say thank you for all you do and how you take the time to teach us. I really do. I really appreciate it. And I have one question. Is the next series going to be with James Front? Or is that going to be with a different community college or a small business center?
The next 2 series we start in July. The core topics, 8 series is going to be at James Front. The 5 topics for succession to be sponsored by Lenoir County or Lenoir Community College. So we'll be doing Monday and Tuesday nights.
Cool beans. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Sherry. Have a great June. All right. I look forward to seeing y'all. I do need for you to send that 15 question quiz. I need for you to fill it out and send it to me. That will be a qualifier for your Academy certificates. And thank you for your 100% attention. Most of you have got 100% attendance. Thank you so much. And like to say on Walton's Mountain, good night, John Boy.
Good night, everybody. everybody. Have a good week. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Good night. Hey, Steve.
Mary just left. Yes, who's got a comment?
Rita, I get to say, Mary in the comment said she didn't receive her certificate.
I saw that over in chat, so we need to make sure we got her address correct.
Okay.
I'll follow up on that.
Okay.